Welcome back as the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show continues here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com. We're talking about some creative ways to sell your home for more money. And we just talked about prepping the home and the kind of preliminary process, working with a pre-listing inspection and trusted contractors to assign values to the issues that need to be addressed so that we're not getting taken advantage of by someone else's quote that say, hey, it's going to cost $10,000 when really it might cost $3,000, which is obviously it comes into play when negotiating. And so I want to keep this list going. I do always like to take a moment and just tell folks how much I appreciate you for listening to this program and relying on its information to help shape your understanding of the market and educate you on the process. And we've had some great clients recently that have reached out to us that say that they appreciate what they hear on the show. And so thank you so much for that. It really does mean a lot. But I love being on this program. It's very therapeutic for me to just kind of tell you like it is, right? So let's keep this going. First, though, if you want to reach out to me, if you do have a real estate question, a need, you're thinking of buying, selling, investing, getting your property rented out. Maybe you're an investor that needs access to some short-term funds. We can help in a variety of ways. So reach out to me. My cell phone number is 843-800-0065. That's 843-800-0065. Or go to listingsincharleston.com. Or you can also email me if you like, brian@brianbeattyteam.com. So let's talk about a few creative solutions here to selling your home for more money, aside from the prep and the staging and all of that, which is important. And I think there is a lot to be said for that, because that is a very real way of saving money. If you hire a contractor off the street that you have no relationship with, and we see this too often, to not mention this often on this program. We have some contractors that do fantastic work. We've got a variety of them, quite frankly. Some that are cost leaders, some that are very high-end and very customized, and a few in between. But we need more because they're just all so busy right now. So again, if you're a contractor, reach out to me. We need some help. And we'll go through the vetting process to see if it might be a good fit. But one creative solution that I think is worth mentioning is seller financing. All right, so let's say you don't have a mortgage on your house and you're about to sell it. You've got a bunch of equity, right? Well, it's all equity, frankly, because you don't have a mortgage, but you're expecting a really big payday and you're not sure what to do with that money. What you can do is, rather than, take that big fat check at closing, you could offer seller financing, where you are now turning your home into an investment vehicle. So rather than the buyer paying 7.5% to a bank to be able to afford your home, maybe you be the bank and you collect somewhere around a 7% interest rate, or a 6% interest rate, or something like that. The great thing about seller financing is that it goes back to payment, right? It goes back to what that buyer can afford as a percentage of their budget. So if you play around a little bit with the interest rate, you might be able to sell the home for more money. Now, I think in this instance, it would make a lot of sense for that buyer to come with some form of a down payment. The more the better. But you can toggle that interest rate and the terms of that seller financing deal in such a way to help you sell your home for more money, because they can afford to pay more because the interest rate is slightly less. And maybe you structure it in a way that says, hey, I'll do this seller financing for 2 years or 3 years or 5 years or whatever length of time that you guys agree to. But at the end of that, it's called a balloon payment. You've got to either pay me off, or you have to go and get a loan from someone else. You got to go to a bank and refinance me out so that I can get all of this cash that's stuck in my home. And by the way, if you don't pay me, I'm going to foreclose. Just be prepared that if you do want to foreclose on somebody, I've had to do it, unfortunately, because I'm a private money lender. I give investors money for real estate projects, whether it's a flip or a rehab or just updating some properties and portfolios or whatever. I had a guy that borrowed some money from me. He made me one payment, never paid me again. I had to foreclose on him. It took about a year and $20,000 to get him out of the house. So it's not fun. There is risk. I will say, though, that when I took over that property, I was able to sell it for even more than what I thought I could sell it for. And so it still ended up being a great investment. It just took a little longer because I went about a year without my money making money. But seller financing can be a really creative solution to which you can add some big bucks to the bottom line. There's another option that not a lot of people are talking about, which I find really interesting, and that's assumable mortgages. You know, if you've got a VA loan and your VA loan is assumable and someone else wants to buy it and they have the ability to obtain VA financing, you can pass your interest rate to that new buyer and you could sell it for more money. I mean, there's some great options there with creative financing. You just have to work with somebody that's been through it, understands it, and knows how to structure it and knows the pitfalls. There's one more thing I'll mention with regard to some creative solutions. And there's this program that recently came to Charleston. They were in, I think, like 26 other states. They just came to South Carolina. And it's a buy before you sell program that we have access to. Not everybody can do it. And it's for primary residences only. But what they will do is they'll say, well, hey, rather than you know, because if you have to sell your home before you buy another, and you have to do a home sale contingency, meaning you go to the seller and say, hey, I want to buy your home. Here's my offer, but it's contingent on me selling my home first. Very few sellers in this market want to deal with that unless you're going to make it worth their while, i.e., you're going to pay more, right? Because they're inheriting the risk of your home taking longer than maybe it should to sell. It might not sell at all. Or maybe you're the type of seller that's not going to negotiate and offers are being made and you're just declining. The seller that you have the offer on is fearful of those kinds of things. And it happens. So rightfully so. But this program allows you to basically unlock the equity in your home and use it as a down payment to purchase the property that you want to buy without a home sale contingency. So basically what they do is they offer to buy your house from you. So you have a backup offer. When you have a backup offer, it negates your current payments when a lender is looking at your financials to determine your debt to income ratio, to determine whether you can afford this new home that you want to buy. Basically, it wipes out the home you already own from payments and says, all right, well, we're going to pretend like those payments on your current home don't exist. And you've got all this equity in your home that we're going to give you access to as a down payment to purchase your new property. So you can go and you can buy this other home, and then you can go back and you maybe make some repairs, you make some improvements, you sell the home, and you sell it for more money. Now, there's a bunch of different ways that this can work. We've also talked on this program about home purchase contingencies, where you basically put your home on the market and say, hey, I'm open to offers and I will accept offers. But once that offer is accepted, I now have some time to shop for a new home. You know, I've got whatever amount of time you can agree to, 30 days to go and identify another property, put it under contract, get through the inspection, get through the appraisal, basically get to the point where I know it's a done deal. All we're waiting on is the signing of the closing documents. And then I'll remove the home purchase contingency and allow you to move forward with buying my house without any impediments. Again, no one's out there doing home purchase contingencies. It blows my mind. It's such a great option for sellers because it says if you can't find a home that's suitable and get through all of those kind of important checkpoints, the inspection, the appraisal, getting financing approved, termite and moisture inspection, all those things, I just think it's a great option, and I just don't see anybody doing it. Maybe they just don't know. A lot of people, I think, don't know about it. Agents, they just don't know about it. Or maybe they know about it, but they don't know how to present it. They don't know the inner workings of it. It's a great option. So the point here is that there are a bunch of different creative ways to sell your home for more money. I think flexible commissions should be a portion of that, should be part of what you guys go through when you're considering selling your home. We've got, a variety of different commissions based on different packages, if you will, which include things like how much marketing do you want us to do? How much service do you want? Are you more interested in saving money, or are you interested in trying to sell your home for the absolute top dollar, which requires more effort and time and exposure and resources from us? We're happy to do it. Most people land somewhere in the middle. But flexible commissions, I think, is an important thing that agents need to take into consideration in this kind of market to help just the entirety of the process go more smoothly and be more beneficial to you, the client. So we're going to take another quick break. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about two more quick things that I think are ways to help you sell your home for more money in a market where it's still pretty attractive to sell your home. You're still going to get a lot of interest, a lot of demand, multiple offers in many cases, quick sales. But let's not leave money on the table. Let's get as much as we can while the getting's good, right? So stick around for more of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com. And remember, reach out to me if you have any real estate questions. If you're thinking about buying a home, selling a home, investing, you've got a property you want managed by us, you're thinking about getting into real estate, my number is 843-800-0065. That's 843-800-0065 or listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com. Stick around for the last few minutes of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA.
Visit Brian Beatty's website at listingsincharleston.com. The Brian Beatty Real Estate Show continues next on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA.